What car brand has the most problems and people still buy? I'm amazed Jaguar is still in business, to be honest. Land Rover. My only contribution is that I've been waiting for my 2008 Mazda 3 to die so I can justify buying something new. I've been waiting for years. That thing will never die. Doesn't even have a rattle yet anywhere. Range Rovers. Jeep. I knew better, did it anyway, loved my Jeep, drove it daily, went through 7 recalls, but stuck with it until it self-destructed for good. Jeeps. I found the most useful website to use before buying a car. Laughs in 10-year-old Toyota with 160,000 miles, that's not even halfway to the junkyard. Range Rovers aren't noted for their reliability. Jeep. BMWs don't exactly have a lot of issues, but when you do have an issue, it's a proper pain in the arse disassembling them to get to the bit you actually need to fix. Fiat, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge. My sister sells car at a dealer that sells VW, Volvo and Mazda. She said that VW and Volvo fill up their service bays and Mazdas come in for routine maintenance. Fiat, fix it again, Tony. Daewoo. It's cheap to buy but it's expensive to have. Easy, Alfa Romeo. Even the owner's club agrees that most of an Alfa's life will be spent in a garage while the owner looks at it covered in grease, with a ratchet on one hand and bits of his own hair on the other. But then comes those 3-month periods where everything works and the car is simply magical. HP printers. Edit, haha, my bad, I thought I was on a different subreddit regarding tech gear. Honestly, don't buy HP printers. They are pieces of shit that has to be connected online. Even if you plug in a USB direct, HP will stop it until you register for an HP account. The app on the desktop is garbage. Lastly, you can't transfer printers between computers because it's registered. Answer: Ford, BMW, Euro cars. Toyotas. This is a joke. Toyotas are awesome. I'll never buy anything else. Nissan. Their transmissions are hot garbage. I have not seen any Toyota mention thank God their car are great. And it's Ford for me. Jeep. Land Rover, Range Rover. Any Stellantis product, so Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Alfa, etc. all garbage. The trisexual Toyota Chevy Geo Prism was one of the best ever released into the wild. You literally had 3 separate cars you could pull parts from in a junkyard, and every single one has parts for this car, amazingly cheap to run, and it goes forever. I wish I still had mine because the Audi is a bitch to work on. I think anything German is a tricky situation to work on, lol. Smiley face. French cars are famously shit. Renault, Peugeot, and Citroën. Shit cars. I own a Volvo with 355,000 kilometers on it. I'm a Volvo fanboy. Yugo, I would buy that car if they were still making it. Jeeps. If having no immune system and getting every sickness known to man was a vehicle, it would be a Jeep. Jeeps. Any Stellantis brand, Fiat, Alfa, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler. They are consistently rated worst in reliability studies and many times have the highest issues per 1,000 vehicles. Boeing. Nissan. Bought a brand new 21 Sentra and had a malfunction warning before I even got the thing home. In the 2.5 years I had it, I had rear sensors replaced, rear camera replaced, tie rod replaced, front and rear collision sensors replaced, and tracking sensor replaced. Thankfully all under warranty. Ditched it recently for a Civic and absolutely love it. Lexus. Just kidding. That thing is a tank. 20 years old. 170k miles on it. It was in the shop once for preventative maintenance and one more time because they didn't do it right. 300 horsepower V8 to the rear wheel and so comfortable I just go sit in my car and read sometimes. My insurance in a city with high insurance costs is under $90 a month. I'm driving this thing until I die and then my grandkids will pass it down to their grandkids. I bought it 7 years ago for $10,000. Opel. OBD reader on hand at all times. The 3.8-liter supercharged GM cars that came mated to a transmission that could not handle the power from factory. Jaguar has never made a reliable vehicle. Car thefts increased in my city by 300 because of Kia and Hyundai. They may have fixed the issue with the newer models, but people are still getting their windows smashed in. I will never even consider one. I'd have thought Tesla would be at the top of the list, but maybe after the Cybertruck people won't be buying from them anymore. Land Rover, Jeep, BMWs. The indicators never work. Jeep, or most Chrysler products for that matter. Never owned any of them and never will. Also, back in the day, the first Hyundai cars were terrible. I remember my aunt had a Hyundai Excel and it was in the shop more than it was on the road. And the loaner car Hyundais would even break down. But she needed something cheap, just like most people who buy problematic vehicles. Land Rover. Anything that's not Honda Toyota. Unless you're looking for a luxury vehicle, I don't really understand why any average person looking for a commuter vehicle gets other brands. Former Dodge Jeep service manager. Jeeps, I swear, must be built to fail on purpose. Every time one pulled in, it was at least a $1,000 ticket. Knew 50-60 Jeep owners not only by name, we knew their families, where they went on vacation, who was sick and or in the hospital. Jeeps were maybe 20-25% of sales, but 80-90% of part sales and service work. On the bright side, I made some great bonuses because of Jeeps. For the opposite side of this question, I've owned 2 Acuras and they were the most reliable cars I've ever owned. A handful of small, cheap, and easily fixable electronic issues were the only problems I ever had. Land Rover, you are better off in a Lada. Mercedes A140 series was just shit, still I see daily those in traffic. I thought Jeep was at the top. I've heard Minis are designed like the engineers were drunk. I've never owned one, so can't personally confirm, but there are an awful lot of them on the used market for suspiciously cheap. My Mini Cooper had constant issues. There is a saying in where I live for BMW's first owner drives the BMW and BMW rides the second owner. According to this thread, all of them. Tesla. Consumer Reports has them ranked at 27th out of 28 brands and JD Power has them at 30th out of 33 brands for reliability. My college mate's dad used to work for Ford. He told us if you value your life, just buy a Japanese car. Anything luxury. Not so much that they necessarily have more problems than other cars, but normal things that go out on any car are ungodly expensive. And they purposely make it damn near impossible to fix it yourself. I'm chucking in Tesla here. The Cybertruck seems built poorly to maim and kill.